Okay, so let's begin our discussion. So today is the topic I have taken the basic topic, that is engineering survey. We need to understand the basics here, and then we'll move ahead with the further concepts there, right? So, so engineering. First, we need to understand the first step, engineering. What is the definition of engineering, right? So this is the one definition I have got that which include all the concepts related to the engineering. So as you look in the slide, what the definition suggests is the creative application of science, mathematical methods, empirical evidence to the innovation, design, construction, and maintenance of structures, machines, materials, devices, systems, process, and organization. Right. So here you have seen that we need to discuss those highlighted words. Then we can understand what is basically engineering means. Right. It is the application part. It means you are supposed to use there. You can work on the field by using the concept of engineering. So first it is science. Science, you know that people already study science. What is science? With simple meaning, what is the meaning of science? Simple means some systematic methodology has been there. Right, that is science. Or whatever the methodology that has been developed is based on a complete evidence. Lots of trials has been taken, lots of research work has to be going on, and then one method has been developed. So that's why it is science, right? Then there is the empirical evidence. The second thing that we have to do is the empirical evidence. What does it mean, right? What does it mean? So empirical evidence, you can usually, evidence means what? Any kind of information that you are collecting, right? But empirical means whenever you are collecting some information or some data, right? You are collecting by conducting some experiment. You are not collecting data just as it is. That is called empirical evidence. So engineering is the creative application, right? By using this empirical evidence. When you are practicing engineering, it means through the experiment, right? Through the experiment, uh, you are observing some information, and then also you are documenting those information, right? Then innovation, again thing is that innovation, see, this is the one difference between invention and innovation. Invention means if something new you are creating. Innovation means the things already there, you are just improving the quality of the product, or if any design you have, you are just innovating. Then so engineering is also, you can apply the concept of engineering in the innovation also. Then another application of engineering is design. Design means to create certain architecture, to certain create a structure, any kind of a structure. Then construction, it means you have to build up something. So using the concept of engineering, you can build up. Maintenance of a structure, that easily to understand. You can develop machines, right? You can understand the behavior of material by knowing the concept of engineering, right? And then finally the three word is there: system, process, and organization, right? So by using the concept of engineering and using all these uh, all these things, what I'm saying, this innovation, design, construction, maintenance, and all those things, using all these concepts there, you can devise a certain system so that you can run a proper process, right? And then you can handle organization in a very scientific way. So that is called engineering, right? Again I am repeating again, first you read the definition is the science. First it is science. Science means uh, all the activities based on certain evidence. And what kind of evidence? Evidence is empirical. Empirical means you are observing or collecting the data based on research. And when you are doing all this research work, you are able to innovate. Innovate means you can add a new dimension to the existing product, right? You can create new design, new architecture, new a new other kind of concept there. Then on the basis of all this design, innovation, and evidence, you can make new structure, or you can construct something there. After that, the maintenance activity has to be carried out, right? And by collectivity, if you are doing all this activity in a collective, then what the result will get? You have a proper system, or you have a proper process to run an organization in a very scientific way. That is called engineering. Is it clear to all of you, this term?
Yes, sir.
Any question from this term, if any of you are unable to understand? If any word, if something, because the definition is already on your screen, so you can go through that, and if you find any word that you need to understand again, I'll going to explain it, right? So it is science, it is empirical evidence, innovation, design, construction system, process, organization. I hope all the terms are clear. Huh? Okay, can you just explain that empirical evidence? Just look at it. Evidence means what? Okay, Mahmuda, listen carefully. Then you can understand. Evidence. Evidence means you are collecting certain information from something, right? Certain information. So obviously it is a kind of proof, but this proof is not based on any kind of psychological or philosophical things. It is based on a core scientific research. You are performing certain kind of scientific research, right? And then you are observing all these phenomena, and then you are collecting the information there. That is empirical evidence. So science is going to help you to collect this empirical evidence. Have you get the memo? Okay. Now the next step that we need is survey, because the topic is engineering survey. So survey, what do you mean by survey? Even in the previous semester when we are discussing soil survey, I have explained to you, but that is totally different, because now we are there, understand the survey in some different context. So the meaning will be bit different, that we all need to understand here, right? So again, you just look at the slide, you can easily understand what does it mean here. So survey will be defined as the science. Just look at, as I told you the previous slide, just science of determining the position in three dimensions of natural and man-made feature or beneath the surface of the earth. Right? So what is the meaning of this? Surveying means we need to determine the position of any point on earth. For example, you just look at the slide, this is river. We need to determine the position. Three dimensions, it must have a length, breadth and height. Three dimension, as you people already studied in physics, y, x and z. Three dimension aspect should have there. So in the surveying, we are using certain scientific principles and a scientific theory or the concept of engineering to determine the position. Generally, yes, in the survey only this is important. We have to determine the position. This is the important aspect of survey. Whatever the kind of survey we have to conduct, our purpose is to determine the position. So what kind of position we have to have? We have to have a three-dimensional position. Three-dimensional means length, breadth and height. It means position of all these three has to be there. And what kind of features we have to take? Natural and man-made both. For example, river is natural, but if you go for any kind of building, any kind of roads, anything, that is man-made feature. Because all these things are on the surface of the earth, we have to take not only that, even beneath the surface of the earth, we can have what I'm saying, we can locate the object there. Have you get that? Survey, again listen carefully, what is survey? Survey means, this is important line, science of determining the position. It means you have to determine the location of a particular feature, either on the surface of the earth or the beneath the surface of the earth, right? Right, and that position should be in a three dimension. It means where is height, where is length, where is breadth. Is it clear? Let me simplify you. Before I have to determine the position of this river. So first job is we have to have a one fixed point, that is called station. Right? Some terms I supposed to use, and you should have keep in mind those terms because these terms are very much used in forest engineering, right? So the first thing that one should know the term is station. So if I have to determine the position of this river, first I need a station, right? So what is the meaning of station? Try to understand. It is one important point, or you can say there is a point of importance, right? At the beginning or at the end of a line. If you are drawing any line, so it is a point of importance. Is it clear? So we need a station. So one station has been fixed. Again, this station has been determined by surveying procedures. You can't put any point as a station. Again, for example, this station, and from this station, I have to determine the position of this river in three-dimensional aspect. So that kind of work is called surveying. Have you get that? Is it clear? Any doubt in this concept? People can ask. I hope both the term is clear to all of you. Okay. So now, after understanding both engineering and survey, so what is the meaning of engineering survey? Right? So now we have to integrate both the word, then you can understand the concept. So the meaning of engineering survey is there. So I have taken this definition from this society, American Society of Civil Engineers. What the definition is given: engineering survey as those activities involve planning and execution of survey for the development, design, construction, operation, maintenance of civil and other engineered projects. So now it is very clear to understand the things what engineering survey. It means a certain kind of activity that a person has to perform, right? Whether he has to use the concept of engineering also there and also the concept of surveying. Engineering concept means he have to use all this design, the innovation, the development, the operation procedures, right? All this, and in the surveying, here he is just locating or he is just determining the position where all these um, engineering project has to be located. So that is engineering survey definition. I hope that now the term is clear, both all three terms clear to all of you. What I'm discussing with you, engineering, then I discuss survey, and then you have engineering survey. Fine. Now what our subject name is forest engineering. Forest engineering. It means what? The forest, the resource we have, and we want to know what the resource forest composed of. Forest has a tree, forest has a land, forest has all this location. Forest has a different kind of vegetation, isn't it? They have their own periphery. We have a wildlife, right? So using this the concept of engineering survey, right, we can get a position of all the resource that is available in the forest. That is important. So through this forest engineering and survey, we need to understand this thing only, because the question will come in your mind, why are you supposed to study engineering survey in forestry? So this is the only purpose. See, forest is a vast area and we don't know where our what kind of resources where and where it is located. So through this engineering survey mechanism, right, we can locate everything on the piece of a paper, isn't it? So any person can easily understand the position of all these resources there in a uh, forest area itself. Is it clear? Have you get that, all of you?
Sir, I think your voice is breaking.
And now it is clear. Sometimes some network error will be there, so that can be handled there, no issue. But now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes it's
It's
happened, you
it's
know
clear.
that. Okay. and it is not necessary that is always from mine. Sometimes your network has a certain problem there, so it is okay. So now we have any question from all these aspects? Anyone has any question? I have already discussed with you all this basic concept, the engineering, the service engineering survey, and I have discussed with you why we have to study this concept in the field of forestry. So now we have some few seconds to ask any question. Then I move to the next slide.
You are now muted.
थोड़ा धीरे बोलो.
You are now unmuted.
Okay then. We are moving to the next slide. That has been already discussed. Now I have taken another definition of surveying because now we come to the as per your syllabus. The syllabus first we need to understand engineering survey, and then you have to start the surveying and their types and everything we have to discuss. So what the definition I have given you surveying, the same thing has been simplified in this definition, right? The same thing has been simplified there. That where I use the three-dimensional aspect, everything position, the same thing is there. I have just simplified. So what is surveying? Again, I am simplifying that. So you again look at the definition. It is an art and science of determining relative position of the various point or stations. Station I have already told you on the surface of the earth by measuring the horizontal and vertical distances, angles, and taking details of these points by preparing a map or a plan. By preparing a map or a plan. So this definition is simplified and more broad with respect to that. So here what we have to understand first, relative position. It means suppose we are locating some object. So we have to have a certain uh, frame. As we say, reference point, you can say that. I think in your physics, again, let me remind you the physics, you have studied one concept, frame of reference, right? So everything has a relative position. Relative, as you can easily say, for example, if someone going to ask you, "Okay, what is the distance of x? Is there any answer? If anyone going to ask you, what is the distance of x? Do you think to have any answer? Unless or
No, sir.
until you have a reference point, right? So suppose you have a reference point, for example, y. So you can say that from y it is some z distance from y. So that is called relative position. Have you get that? So through this survey, we have to locate the relative position. It means one station has been fixed, and from that station we are locating or we are observing the position of another station or another feature on the surface of the earth. Is it clear? Have you get that?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
If any question you can ask, there is no issue in that. Fine. And as I told you, this will three dimensional, so you can easily see that by measuring horizontal and vertical distance. So length and breadth is basically horizontal, isn't it? If we are taking length and breadth horizontal and height is vertical. So in the previous definition that is written over three dimensional, but here it is written as you can easily see that here it is written vertical and horizontal. Not only that, we are also have to measure the angle because some position may be tilted, and from our point it may have some height, it may have some other dimensions. So angle has to be there, and on the basis of all this information we need to have map or plan. Is it clear? Either we can make a map or we can make a plan. Is it clear to all of you? So So is there any question up to this point from anyone? It's okay. Okay, now how the surveying process is there, that we all have to understand. What is surveying process? Then it means how the surveying has to be done there, right? So there are three stages for conducting any kind of survey. Take a general view, observation and measurement, presentation of data. So let me explain what does it mean. So taking a general view, it means basically general view means it is going to indicate, or you can say that what you have to do, that you have to take an overall picture of what is required, right? It means suppose you have to conduct any survey on the ground. So first you just obtain an overall picture for what is required. That is a general view. Have you get that? Again listen carefully. What this general view indicates? It indicates the need to obtain an overall picture of what is required. Let me again simplify you. Taking a general view means suppose I have to conduct a survey. For example, the slide in front of you, we have this tree and all these things are there. So first we have to take an overall picture. Okay, what kind of survey it is, what is this, what, and then what is required there to conduct a survey. That is called general view. And then second, observation and measurement. Obviously the next stage, isn't it? Here what we have to do, we have to determine all this relative position and size of either the natural features or the man-made features that is available on the land here. And finally the presentation of data. It means whatever the data that has been collected, that need to be presented in a certain form so that anyone can clearly interpret it and also easy to understand, right? And you can present your data in a written report or any data sheet you can make, any drawing you can draw, or any plan you can make there. So these are the three process has to be taking a general view, observation, measurement, presentation of data. General view means overall picture of what is required has to be taken, or observation and measurement means you have to measure the relative position and size of the feature that is available, and then you have to present that data in a easily understandable form so that one can easily interpret your surveying information. Is it clear to all of you now?
You are
Yes,
now
sir.
muted. You are now
Any
unmuted.
question after all these three stages you can ask?
You are now muted.
It is clear, sir.
You are
Okay,
now
then we're
unmuted.
moving here. Next slide. Well, so what are the basic objectives now of the surveying? So these are the some objectives that one has to look at. The simple objectives there, because what I'm supposed to do all this exercise, whatever the effort we are making here, isn't it? So you can easily look at this. So the objective is to prepare a map or plan, right? I'll also going to explain you what is map or plan, all the difference that I'll in some other session I'm going to explain you, right? But here just to understand that the objective or the purpose of conducting all this surveying activity is to First is to prepare a map or plan, and the second objective is to show the relative position of the object on the surface of the earth. You already understand that. And then to establish boundaries on the land. Boundaries, obviously, some features, for example, you have to make a house, then first boundary has to be created. And suppose you have a land, and then all this land measurement is there. Suppose you have to sell any land, suppose you have to buy any land, right? So the boundary of land has to be fixed, then accordingly buying selling can be established, isn't it? So all this practice has been conducted by doing all this serving activity. So the boundaries there. And then another objective is to select a suitable site for engineering project, right? And obviously, for example, you have to make a bridge. So where the bridge can be developed, how we can decide, or how we can make that kind of decision, isn't it? So to take that decision, this surveying activity has to be conducted, right? It means what things has to be there through this. We have to prepare a map of that area, then we have to depict all this relative position of object that is available there. Then we have also established the boundary there, isn't it? Then some other features also in the surveying, we have to note it down, some other feature that is available there, right? And then on the basis of all those things, we can make a decision whether the site is suitable for engineering project or not. Is it clear to all of you now? Have you get the objective?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now uses, again, is a simple concept where you can use it, because the scope is also required. What is the scope of survey? So a scope means where the application part, where you can apply the concept of surveying. So we can apply to prepare the topographical map, cadastral, engineering map, contour map, and other kind of map also there. So through the image, I would like to explain you all these things here, right? So one by, let me show you. First, I like to show you the topographical map. See, this is topographical map, right? Topographical map means this kind of map is going to show you the hills, the valleys, the river, forest, village, town, everything, right? So these kind of things will be topographical map. Is it clear? So we can use the concept of survey to prepare a topographical map. And what is the meaning? Again, I'm repeating. Topographical map is supposed to show you the hills, the valleys, the river, the forest, village, town, etc. Some other feature that is available there. That is topographical map. Second, we have a cadastral map, right? Through the surveying, you can use the concept of surveying to prepare the cadastral map. You just look at it. You people can remember, we have conducted the remote sensing also. We have made this kind of map there, right? So basically, cadastral map is going to show you the boundaries of the field. Have a look at that. The boundary has been properly there. These are the small boundary. You can see that the whole big boundary is also able to see that. So basically, cadastral map is supposed to show you the boundary of any fields, any plots, any houses, or any other properties. That is cadastral map. Okay. Then we have another map, engineering map, right? You can easily show that we have a bridge, we have a road, everything is there. So engineering map, it is going to show you the properties of engineering work. Engineering work means the bridges, the roads, the railways, the dams, canals, anything. Through the engineering map, you are able to see there. And all these things have been made by the work of surveying. Then we have a contour map. You can use contour map, right? Right? You can make a contour map. Also, contour map means on the same elevation, isn't it? The points on the same elevation. And generally, the contour map can be used for the hilly area where we are locating all the point, isn't it? So if all the point has been connected, so this kind of line has to be drawn, and that is called contour. And when we are drawing all these things, if you just look at, there is one hills are there, and then this line has been drawn. This line represent all the points joining on this, right? And that is called contour line. So you can make contour map there, but how the contour map can be designed? Again, by using what I'm saying, by using the concept of surveying here. And similarly, all the other map can be drawn. Just collect the data. You have a geological map, right? You can easily say geological means what? What do you mean by geology? You studied that. What do you mean by geology? Any idea?
So, studying about Earth.
Obviously. So you can just do a study of where the minerals, the mining, where the mining activities can be conducted, isn't it? So minerals, the composition of all this material, that can be studied. So you can design a map also there. And if you already have seen all this, this forest map of India. Unfortunately, I am unable to paste it here. Forest map of India. So we have seen some green parties, that how this map has been designed by conducting the surveying activity, isn't it? Then we have some archaeological map. Archaeological means tourist destination, right? Where the historical fact is there. So through the archaeological map, we can design an archaeological map. So this is one example of archaeological map there. Then we have a military map. It means where all these military equipments has to be established there, where this military camp is there. We can have a map for this, and all these things has to be designed or built by using the concept of surveying. I hope you all have get this concept, use how to use the surveying. Is there any question here? Use of surveying, from the use of surveying I am asking. I think to connection is just wait, the slide is opening. I think some connection is a bit slow today, so that's why it's not opening. Now, after understanding, so before going to this, I like to summarize what we've studied. We have studied the engineering, we have understand the meaning of engineering word, then we have understand the survey, then we have done the engineering survey, then all these stages has to be process of surveying has to be understood, and then I have discussed the use, isn't it? So before discussing this primary division, do you have any question in your mind? Anyone has any question? Whatever we have discussed so far. Okay, fine. So now this is a very important concept that one need to understand. Primary division of surveying. So there is two division: plane and geodetic. Plane and geodetic. So we try to understand what is this. You can easily understand. It's not so difficult. So I hope images is very clear to all of you. So first, in the plane surveying, Earth's surface considered as a plane, right? Curvature of Earth is ignored. Line joining two stations is considered to be straight. Let me explain you what does it mean. Right, let me have a one blank slide. This is the blank slide I have taken intentionally. So I'm going to explain you. Right. So in the plane surveying, as you have already seen the pointer, Earth surface considered as a plane. You all know that the surface is bit like that, Earth surface, right? So if you are taking any 2 point, or let me try to make something very clear. So I'm taking just half surface of Earth. So if you see Earth's surface is, it's not a straight line, right? It is a curvature, it is a curve. But if you are taking this concept, plane surveying, right? If you are following this kind of surveying, simple plane surveying, so here what the assumption that you have to take, that you have to consider Earth's surface as a plane surface, despite it has a curve, but you have to consider it as a straight line. Simple thing. Have you get that? Plane surface. Is it okay? Not curvy surface. Plane surface. And here we have to ignore this curvature. This curvy part has to be ignored. Is it clear? So if you are making any, drawing any 3 point, right? Any 3 point, for example, I am drawing any 3 point on the surface of that, it should be like that. It is simple as a triangle. It will be look like a complete triangle. Have you get that? If you are taking the concept of plane surveying, is it clear? And when we are forming a triangle, this triangle is treated as a plane, and this, so that is a clear triangle you are able to see here, right? And angles are a very plane angle. You can say that if you have a triangle, so you know the feature of the triangle, all these angles should be adding up, getting the 180-degree answer, right? So if you are taking this plane surveying concept, so you'll get this kind of characteristics, right? But where, now the question is there, where you can use this plane surveying. So there is one restriction that one need to understand here. You can use this concept of plane surveying for a small area. It means the size of area should be less than 250 kilometer square. Always keep in mind this thing. 250 kilometer square, less than 250 kilometer square. If you are using the plane surveying, and if you are carrying out this plane surveying, then area must be less than 250 kilometer square. Have you get that? Then you can conduct this kind of plane surveying. If it is more than 250 kilometer square, then you have to move to the geodetic surveying. Geodating surveying. But before we discuss this geodating, if you have any question from plane surveying, you people can ask. First, to ask a question from this. Is there any question from here? From the plane survey. Okay. Okay, Sangalam. Now you just again look at the screen so that I explain you here properly. See, in the plane surveying, right, Earth surface need to be considered as a plane surface, not curvature. See, Earth surface something like this, not a straight line. It is a curvature. But for the plane surveying, it is treated as a straight line. But when, in which condition it is treated as a straight line? If we are conducting or you are carrying out the surveying activity of that area where the area is less than 250 kilometer square. If it is less than 250 kilometer square, we can ignore the curvature of the earth and we can treat that surface of earth as a plane. That is the concept behind this plane surveying. I hope now the thing is clear. Fine. Now go for this geodetic. That's also very important to understand. In geodetic, obviously area should be more than 250 kilometer square, or that since always more than 250 kilometer square. After that there is no limit. And here curvature of earth has to be taken and line joining should be a curve. So what the difference we'll get here, try to understand. If we have a plane surface, right, triangle should be something like that. But if you have a curved surface, just make a imagination that you have a ball in your hand and you are drawing triangle. So the triangle should be something like that. It should be not like a plain triangle. Have you get that? This is the only difference between the plane surveying and geodetic surveying. Right? In the plane surveying, area should be less than 250 kilometers square. And here area is more than 250 kilometers square. Here curvature is ignored, curvature of earth is ignored. Here the curvature of earth has to be taken into account. Right? And this triangle form is spherical, isn't it? And also its angle is spherical. It means if this kind of triangle will be found, obviously the sum of angles should not be 180 degree. It may be more, it may be less here. Is it clear? This is the difference between the plane surveying and geodetic surveying that we have to keep in mind. You will get a question in your exam from this section also there. Right? Here area should be less than 250 kilometer square. Area should be more than 250 kilometer square. So this is all about this plane surveying, geodetic surveying. So if you have any question, you can ask any question. And also I like to conclude the session here itself, and the next session will move ahead from this point.